My name is Claire, and I used to believe that time could bury guilt, that if you ran far enough from your mistakes, they'd somehow fade into silence. But I was wrong. The past doesn't disappear. It waits, quietly, until the day you're strong or broken enough to face it. 5 years ago, I destroyed the best thing that ever happened to me. My ex-husband, Ethan, was the kind of man who loved quietly but deeply. He never made grand gestures, yet his small acts of care, brewing my coffee just the way I liked it, remembering the stories I told only once, spoke volumes. But I was restless, foolishly craving excitement, and when temptation came in the form of someone who made me feel seen for all the wrong reasons, I gave in. The affair lasted 3 months, but the consequences lasted much longer. When Ethan found out, he didn't shout or beg. He just looked at me with a calmness that broke me more than anger ever could. "I hope you find what you're looking for," he said before walking out of our home, and out of my life. After the divorce, I tried to move on, but nothing felt right. I dated, traveled, changed jobs, yet everywhere I went, I carried the same emptiness. The years blurred together until one day, I realized I couldn't move forward until I faced what I had done. I needed to know what became of Ethan, not out of obsession, but out of the desperate hope that he had found peace, even if I hadn't. I hired a private investigator, a quiet man named James who specialized in tracing people who didn't want to be found. "Are you sure you want this?" he asked as he closed his notebook. "Sometimes the truth isn't what you hope it'll be." I nodded, pretending to be brave. "I just need to know he's okay." Days passed, then weeks. Every time my phone buzzed, my heart raced. Then one morning, James called and asked me to meet him in person. We sat across from each other in a small cafe. His face was unreadable as he slid a folder across the table. "I found him," he said. My hands trembled as I opened it. There were photos, Ethan standing in front of a small bookstore, smiling. He looked older, maybe a little tired, but happy. There was a woman beside him and a little boy holding his hand. "He remarried," I whispered, my chest tightening. James nodded. 2 years ago. The woman's name is Lily. The boy's their son. I should have felt relieved, maybe even happy for him. Instead, tears welled up as the weight of my past settled on me again. But then James hesitated, his expression softening. "There's something else," he said quietly. "Ethan was sick a few years ago. Cancer. He went through treatment and recovered, but it was rough. His wife helped him through it. That's probably when they met." My heart broke all over again, not just from guilt, but from realizing how much pain he must have endured while I was out trying to rebuild a life I had wrecked myself. "He never mentioned you," James added gently. "But when I asked around, people said he once told someone that he doesn't hate you. He just hopes you're doing better now." That single sentence shattered me. He didn't hate me. He forgave me, even when I hadn't forgiven myself. I left the cafe in tears, clutching the folder like a lifeline. That night, I sat alone in my apartment, looking through old photos of us, birthdays, road trips, lazy Sundays filled with laughter. For the first time, I didn't cry out of regret. I cried out of gratitude, for having been loved so purely, even if I failed to protect it. The next day, I wrote Ethan a letter I never intended to send. I told him everything I'd been too afraid to say, that I was sorry, that I understood now what love truly meant, that I hoped his new life was everything ours could never be. When I finished, I placed the letter in a box with our wedding ring and tucked it away. It wasn't closure exactly, but it was peace. In the weeks that followed, something changed in me. I stopped running from my past. I started volunteering at a local community center, helping women rebuild their lives after broken marriages. Each story I heard reminded me of my own mistakes, but also of how forgiveness, whether from others or from ourselves, is what truly sets us free. I still think of Ethan sometimes, especially when I pass by a bookstore and see a father reading to his child. I smile, knowing that somewhere out there, he found the happiness I once took for granted. The private investigator gave me more than information. He gave me truth. And though that truth shattered me, it also rebuilt me into someone finally capable of loving honestly, even if it's from afar.